the 2000s, the sports game genre was in its golden age. For football, you had amazing games like NFL Blitz 2000, Madden 08, and the peak of the NCAA football games.
This was also the era where 2K was publishing baseball games. Real ones remember MLB 2K8 with its classic big head mode. But what if you were more of a casual gamer, not interested in the more realistic sports games? Well, if that's the case, Nintendo's got you covered. You like tennis? Boom! Mario Power Tennis. Ah yes, but what if you are more of a sophisticated gentleman? No need to fret. You ever heard of Mario Golf Toadstool Tour? And for my soccer fans, or as those across the pond call it, football, introducing the all-new Super Mario Strikers. Nintendo was serving classic after classic in the GameCube generation. And when you get to the Wii, you got the bombshell that is Wii Sports, which honestly, I'm gonna save that for another video, but oh my Lanta Nintendo, y'all were cooking in the 2000s. Unfortunately, the story doesn't have the happiest of endings. Through both the Wii U and Switch generation, the state of Nintendo sports games has gone downhill. Yeah, the Switch has other amazing games, but every sports game they brought back has been released with a lackluster amount of content. It gives off a mentality of release now and fix later. New Mario Golf? Sorry buddy, you gotta wait months for an update that adds more somewhat interesting courses to the game. Mediocre is the best way to describe these Switch sports games. Mario Tennis, Golf, and especially Strikers are a prime case of wasted opportunity. I don't even really want to talk about Nintendo Switch Sports. Where are the Mii's, Nintendo? You silly goose, forgetting the heart and soul of the franchise? Yet there is one Mario Sports franchise that has not made the jump to Switch. And this franchise has, in my opinion, the best sports title Nintendo has ever made. This game is Backyard Baseball. Nah, I'm joking, it's Mario Super Sluggers. The Mario baseball games first started out on the GameCube with Mario Superstar Baseball. This game provided the template for how the Mario cast would work in a baseball environment. And as an arcadey baseball game, it's a lot of fun. But its sequel on the Wii, Mario Super Sluggers, expanded upon this foundation brilliantly. This is made immediately clear by seeing the scope of Super Sluggers. The premise of the game is that all of the Mario characters go to an island specifically made for baseball. And this island is actually the stadium selection menu. I always found it really cool seeing all of the stadiums together on this one island. This leads me to my first reason for why this game is so great. That being the stadiums. For a starting comparison, Mario Superstar Baseball had 6 stadiums. Pretty good, right? Well, like any good sequel should, Mario Super Sluggers thought that 6 wasn't enough, so instead, we got 9. Now, more stadiums wouldn't mean anything if they are boring and don't add anything to the game. But in the case of Super Sluggers, every stadium is visually distinct and has their own unique hazards on the field. For the standard baseball stadium, you have Mario Stadium, which is always a safe bet to play on. You get some killer baseball vibes, and also don't have to worry about hazards, since it's the only course without them. Want to spice it up? Don't worry, my guy, you have plenty of options. Starting with Daisy Cruiser. Want to play baseball on a ship? Sure thing. Watch out for the giant blooper that's going to tilt the stadium, though. You think this game is for babies? No, it ain't. You got the spookiest map of all time, Luigi's Mansion. On the haunted scale, this is easily over 1,000 haunted. You'll be running in the outfield trying to catch a pop fly, then a ghost will pop from a grave and ruin your day. Do you hate all the friction on the other stadiums? Super Sluggers has your back with Peach Ice Garden. You'll be slipping and sliding all around the field, dodging icebergs. It's pretty sick, dude, not gonna lie. Yoshi Park. Yoshi Park. Ladies and gentlemen, Yoshi Park. I didn't even mention every stadium, but another thing I neglected to talk about was that you can also play every field either in day or night by clicking on the sun or moon, respectively. For me, the visual variety in every stadium makes this game so replayable. Some days you want to play Wario City at night, other days you want to play Wario City in the day. Mario Super Sluggers gives you that freedom. Now, every baseball stadium needs a baseball team, and the roster in Super Sluggers does not disappoint. Being a baseball game, Super Sluggers needs a wide array of characters to build out a baseball team. And the selection of characters at hand is immense, with 42 characters not including the various alternate color options.
There are some truly iconic and out-of-left-field picks for this roster.
Obvious mainstays are here like Mario, Luigi, DK, and Bowser, but then the game decides to bring in some banger characters like Toadsworth. If this old geezer is on the mound, you are screwed. Bro throws the most comically slow pitch ever. Then, when he hits you with the ephus, you best not even try to swing. Just wait till you see his fastball.
Alright, watch this Toadsworth fastball, gamers. Take that, loser.
The Donkey Kong series sees major representation in this game with Diddy and Dixie Kong. Then, they have the character that cements this game as a masterpiece. They got my boy, the legend, Mr. Dinger himself, Funky Kong, the coolest Mario character ever. He uses a surfboard as his bat. He's so cool. On top of that, you have King K. Rool and the Critters, which, fun fact, this was King K. Rool's last appearance before his revival in Smash Bros. Ultimate. I like to think of this roster as the perfect encapsulation of the GameCube era, because you also have great representation for Mario Sunshine, with the Piantas and PD Piranha as power hitters, and the Nokis as great outfielders. But there's one character who I am stumped on till this day. Baby DK. What type of practical joke is this, Nintendo? Seriously, forgive me for not knowing the lore behind this dude, but I'm pretty sure that this is his only playable appearance. I think we are better off if it stays that way. But Baby DK aside, this crazy roster helps to make this the most replayable Mario sports game, in my opinion. Because you could spend hours trying to make the perfect baseball team.
1 hour later.
Me personally, I tend to go for all the Donkey Kong characters, but it would all mean nothing if the gameplay isn't captivating. And captivating is an understatement. In Mario Super Sluggers, you play baseball. While it may seem simple at first and may be boring, Super Sluggers gameplay has many intricacies, starting with the synergy system. Depending on a character's relation to another, it can affect how well they play together. For example, Mario and Luigi will throw faster to each other compared to, say, King K. Rool and Toadsworth. Not only does the synergy system help with throwing, it also affects a major ability in the outfield, being able to deny home runs. In the event that someone hits a dinger, two characters in the outfield that have synergy with each other can perform the buddy jump mechanic. If performed at the right time, one of them will be launched up, thus catching the home run. It is important to note though, that a poorly timed buddy jump can still miss the catch. The synergy mechanic ultimately provides strategy to the team building process, as you can't just put opposites in the outfield together and expect the game to run smoothly. But if you really want to, if you really do, you can have your dream outfield of Toadsworth, King K. Rool, and Baby DK. It'll just suck. The other main mechanic you'll see in the game is the star power system. When you either get a hit or a strike, your star meter will fill up, and once at the proper level, you can perform a star pitch or hit. Team captains only need 1 star, while everyone else needs 2. And I guess I forgot to mention that each team has a team captain. All it really does is give the team a specific name and theme, and like I said, the respective captains can do a cheaper star power. The star power mechanics are really fun to pull off, as sometimes they become the deciding factor for either a strikeout or getting on base. Not all star powers are created equally though. Some star pitches like Mario and Bowser's can easily be timed, whereas Waluigi's Liar Ball is nearly impossible to hit well. Speaking of hitting and pitching, this game functions differently than its predecessor. This is because of the implementation of motion controls. In order to hit and pitch, you have to swing your Wii remote, which many label as a criticism of the game. However, in my opinion, these motion controls provide more immersion and help to make the game feel more engaging. I will say, if Nintendo brings back the baseball series, it would be nice to have the option to switch from regular play and motion controls. But this discussion of motion controls leads to the final main mechanic of the game, items. If the person on deck has synergy with the person at bat, a roulette wheel will spin and land on an item. After an item is chosen, if the player lands a hit, you can use the Wii pointer to throw an item in the outfield that will knock out anyone that hits it. The items in this game are really fun to pull off, since it isn't a given that you will hit someone. The window for throwing one is fairly short, so it takes a fair amount of skill to successfully land one. And, once again, this is another mechanic that ties into the synergy system, thus adding another layer of strategy when picking your batting lineup. Overall, Mario Super Sluggers is one of the most content-rich and replayable sports games ever. The variety in the stadiums, roster, and in-depth gameplay mechanics make this game, in my opinion, the best Mario sports game ever. And it makes it all the more satisfying when you get the sweet home run. Funky Kong, my king! The best character ever